Hi everyone, welcome back to Rosemaling with Art of Lisa. I'm Lisa and I welcome you to my studio. It's a bit of a mess right now, but that's okay. Anyway, today I wanted to get back to some rosemaling and I wanted to finish that frame. So I hope you enjoy just my playing around with my brush and my colors to get this piece finished. And eventually it will get onto Etsy. So if you've been to my channel before, welcome back. And if not, well, welcome. This is a painting channel that specializes really in rosemaling, but rosemaling is a decorative art. So it's a decorative art form that goes back to the 1600s. So this design here is a Telemark design in the rosemaling style. And I'm going to continue that today because we still have this little bit to do. So here we go. I have my palette all set up. It's still the same from before. And I've got a combination of blues, greens, and yellows and some warm whites. I use a Joe Sonia paint by Chroma. This is the pine green that I'm using, and I'll put a list of the colors that I'm losing it in the description below. I am getting over the flu and sinusitis and stuff, so I'm a little bit of a hot mess. All right, so I am using a Joe Sonia Shore Touch round, a size 4, and I'm going to load into my dark blue, which again, this is acrylics. This dark blue is made with Prussian blue and burnt sienna. I'm rolling my brush in. The only medium I'm using today is a little bit of water to kind of help myself. And I also have a paper towel here to blot. All right, so I went into my dark blue, and as you can see, I kind of put in a more of a pattern. It's really done with chalk lines. I use just a nice simple, white chalk pencil. All right, so I'm going to come here and let's finish this guy up because we don't want to have any UFOs sitting around, and I have plenty of those. So for those of you not familiar with UFOs, that's unfinished objects. And I have a few of those unfinished objects here in this house. So I'm continuing with my C's and S strokes here, and I'm going to build down into this. I think my next video, well, I have a few up the pike here, and I'm actually hoping to put a few videos out this week, but I definitely would like to try to do a Holling doll video, which is a more symmetrical style. I've had a number of people ask me about that. All right, let's come around here. Now, I've also had people ask me about how I set up my work area, and typically I have my central area set up here. To my right, because I am right-handed, I have my palette set up. And usually right to the top of that, I have my water. Water is here. Then I always have my brushes, again, because I'm using acrylic. I keep a wet paper towel with plastic wrap, and I keep my brushes in there. And this keeps them fresh. All right, and then I have my central area. Over to my right here, let's see if we can see them, I have my brushes set up, and I have a bookcase set up here with a lot of my paintbrushes and stuff. Hello again. Behind me, there's some of my books. And wait, let's go around the room here. If you can see, I have a lot of stuff lined up to paint. All right, there's a little preview. All right, down we go. Let's get back to this guy here. All right, so I have some nice dark colors here. I also have sapphire, that's my other blue. All right, let's continue. Thank you everybody for spending the time with me. And I'm not a professional videographer, so when I do this with the videos, this is all kind of new. But yet, I hope I'm getting better with it. I'm trying. I don't know. It's all about life experiences. Oh, man, my coffee's in the way. Oh, there's Holling doll. That's one of my designs. All right. See, I may be third generation Norwegian, but I still live on my coffee. All right, let's build a nice little flower off the top of this. All right, because we want to finish this guy. And I will have to get the back painted. This is a frame that I originally bought at Michael's. You know, it's fun what projects you can find at different craft stores. You can find different projects at, oh, I lost my paper towel. There it is. You can find different projects at, yard sales. Just about anywhere. Good grief, I can't tell you how many things I found at yard sales. My mom is always good about finding stuff there. I can't tell you how many projects she's found for me. All right, let's put a nice little yellow flower here. All right, so really what I want to do now is I just want to continue a nice little flow up the side, but because this is much thinner, I don't really like that. Let's take that away. This is much thinner than our main portion here. I don't want it to be overwhelming. Maybe I should, before I start up that side there, let's come over here. Now, I have been rosemaling for close to, 40 years. Oh my goodness, makes me sound very old. I did start very young. So with Telemark, a lot of times I will not put a pattern down. I have a basic idea of what I want to paint, and then I just grow off of that. Telemark being kind of, well, it is an asymmetrical style, I can do that with that. There's other styles like the Holly Doll that I mentioned, which is symmetrical, so there I will grid in a pattern, and I will show that. I will also show, in a future one, about how we can put a pattern down onto a piece once it's been base coated. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section, and hopefully I can put some more videos out. I sometimes debate if I should do more than one video a week, and actually this week I might do that simply because I had the opportunity to be interviewed by a local news station, and I'd like to put that out for you guys to see. It was a very wonderful honor to be asked to do that. Alright, so we kind of have these all set. Now I feel like my yellows are stronger here than here. I've mentioned before, and I'll mention again, as acrylics dry, they dry darker than what you will have on your palette. So often you need to come back and overlay on top of them. So I'm just going to overlay. And if you've noticed, I haven't switched my brush. I'm using the same brush really the whole time. I'm just swishing it in my water, tapping it, blotting it on my towel, and then going back into the color I want. The water acts as a medium, so it will make the paint flow for you. I often use another medium when I paint. I just decided with this one to just use water. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is actually detail these guys to bring some detail lines over here to help connect them. So I'm going to go put my brush in my towel, just like this, so then it stays dry. Now I'm going to my Jackie Shaw 010 liner. These are no longer made, so instead you can go with King's Art liners. You can get a 10-0, which does a beautiful effect. Let's see if we can do this here. I'd love to bring this closer in. Alright, this is part of the videoing process. Eventually, my husband has set it up where I can do a couple cameras at the same time, but that means I have to start learning how to edit all these videos together. Well, that will be fun. Hey, thank God for YouTube. YouTube is a wonderful learning tool on so many things. All right, let's come over here. Let me see if you can see this. All right. Now, when you detail, you want your detail paint to be nice and wet, kind of similar to melted ice cream, because you want it to be able to flow over the strokes that you've already done. Oh, that had a little too much water in it. We'll just pull that off. And now you see why my apron is such a mess. All right, let's come around this way. Now the nice thing with acrylics is it does dry quickly. You're able to move and touch your piece as you go. The downside to acrylics is it dries quickly, so if you feel like you've done a mistake, you have to be quick to take it off. Now you can take it off using rubbing alcohol, which will break through the paint and take it off for you. But if you rub too hard, you will end up taking off the base coating that's done below it. Now I've done a couple videos on sanding and base coating that by all means, if you're interested in learning about that, I will put a tab in for you to look at that. And I'm hoping to do more videos like that also to kind of teach you guys and inform, you know, share my knowledge. Now, I'm not the foremost authority on everything I know. I will never claim that. And if I get new hints or hacks and treats, I will by all means share them. And I'm always happy to have people share with me. You know, you never stop learning. Learning is just integral to life, and, you know, what's the line? You can't teach old dog new tricks. Oh, yes, you can. All right, let me keep turning it. Notice I keep turning my piece. I keep turning it because I want to pull the brush strokes towards me. Now, I'm going to say, remember I said about wiping something off? I am going to wipe this off, and I'll tell you why. I want to keep more of a border here, and I wasn't following my chalked in lines. So what a perfect example for taking something off. Now I have this handy dandy spray. It's rubbing alcohol. I'm going to put it on here, and I'm just going to go over the top here. And I'm going to take that little flower out because it's not going to work aesthetically to your eye. You're going to say, ooh, that covers a little too much. All right, so there you go. Nice. I was able to show exactly what I had said about taking something off. So I think what I'm going to do there is just take some nice detail lines. I'll pull it up and around, and we'll just incorporate that little bit that's there. Right? And maybe we'll add a little yellow just to make it so it ties together. All right, let's bring this guy this way. There we go. Again, I find painting to be very soothing. It's, except when I have a lot of projects to do at the same time and kids to get everywhere, but for the most part, it's just very soothing to let your brush flow. Let's add a little lines in there. All right, let's see here. I really enjoy just letting my brush play. And remember, don't be afraid to just try a project or try playing with the brushes. You know, you have to remember, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, it literally is just paint. This isn't something that you should be afraid of. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. You know, I sometimes feel in school and such, you know, you're not allowed to make mistakes, but life is full of mistakes. And how are you supposed to learn? You know, jump out there, give it a try, jump into it. You never know what you're going to be able to do in life unless you give it a try. You know, even myself doing these videos, if you had asked me 2 years ago if I would be taking my time and trying to do this and share my love with others, I would have kind of looked at you a little cross-eyed. But here I am, and I do enjoy doing this quite a bit. Now, I realize, oh, put my brush in my mouth. I do like this. Okay. I do that quite frequently. Probably shouldn't do that, but I can't tell you how often I do that. All right. Now, this is Turner's Yellow. Again, I'll try to remember to include my paint list in the description here below. All right, so now this, I like how this looks. This is having a nice fixture with this. And I think really what I want to do is just add some nice detail lines coming down and then add some color to it. So let's see what we can do here. All right. Now remember when I have talked about this in previous videos, that when you put your brush down, it's very much like an airplane coming in from a landing. You're going to push down on your brush and you're going to take off again. You're going to push down on your brush, take off. Okay, let's see. Maybe I need a little bit of blue in here just to add that color. We want to balance your colors. Nice. Little yellow coming up. Add a little green. Just again, I want to balance my colors from side to side. Let's come back this way now and bring up some tendrils, some detail lines up here. So I want to come from the sepal. Remember, even though these are fantasy flowers, which I've mentioned before, they're still based on real life, and in real life, all the flowers go down the stem and down to the root. So same idea, you want it to be able to flow through. Okay, let's come this way. Let's come this way up here. Whoop. Okay. Here we go. There's that airplane just coming down. Let's add a little bit of that Turner's yellow. Nice little line there. Let's come back over here and add a little bit of that pine green around. Add a little bit of that yellow to it. Just some nice detail lines. Okay. Now we're going to come back around up here. Here we go. Just some pretty lines. It kind of balances how it looks here. Maybe what I'll do, because I have this nice dark blue in there, I'm going to put this brush down for a few minutes. I'm going to take out a number 3 King Art round, 9003. I tipped a little in my dark blue, which is the Prussian blue burnt sienna, and a little of the sapphire. And I'm just going to add a little bit of highlights here. Let me bring some of that color in, just to kind of complete it. Okay, little green there, just adds a touch there. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is continue. I'm going to continue with that blue theme in here. I'm going to come up and around here. Let's add a nice little C stroke there. All right. Add a little warm white in between. There we go. Just has a nice flow to it. Little yellow, little dash of yellow. Bring a little C stroke there. This is all based on C strokes and S strokes, very familiar to what you would see in other cultural art forms, the Russian, the Polish, Greek, Islamic. I mean, I think Rosemaling is actually, in a lot of ways, comfort food for the art soul. It's so familiar in so many different ways because of the brush strokes and such. Let's bring this up around here. Just a lot of fun. Art should be fun. You know, if you have a local art class, by all means give it a try. There's so many wonderful decorative arts to do. Let's see, let's just tie that together with some detail work. All right. And I'm loading that color onto my brush. And when I detail, I don't worry. See, I'm rushing a little, so I got a little bit too much water on there. That's something, be careful, don't rush. Okay, so do as I say, not as I do. All right, let's see here. Let's just finish this up. Oh, that's looking pretty now. Let's bring this back around this way. Okay. And a little bit back this way. Am I making you dizzy yet? Going back and forth and back and forth. I think I'm making myself dizzy. All right. Now I might come back and add just a little bit here and there, but for the most part, I'm really quite happy with how this looks. Now remember, any of you out there, whenever you do an art piece, make sure you sign your piece. All right, so let's make sure I don't have too much water in here. Let's get my name in there. So it's Lisa with an E. Lorentzen. And if you've enjoyed today's video, and I hope you have, I hope you will subscribe for more videos to come. And I welcome everybody, and I am so glad you guys were here today. All right, so this piece is really going to be done, and all I have left to do is the back, which I have a video with doing that also. But this guy will end up on Etsy sometime soon. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Again, remember, it's just paint. God bless, and take care.